what's going on in America right now? Another big church.
Mm.
Wow, I haven't seen that before. A worship video on YouTube. LED screens. Oh, and hazers. You know, vision is when it hasn't been seen before. If it's not only in class, it's just your good idea. Okay, well, let me give you a macro view, 30,000 foot, just basic philosophy of ministry. Rusty, if you look at the things that have changed America spiritually, if you look at the mighty moves of God since the Great Commission, really, and even before that, it was always the things that were only in class, the things that there wasn't a model for before. It was the new innovation. Jim Rayburn starting Young Life and taking kids all over the country for camps that he started, right? Taking kids, Jim Rayburn said, if you want kids to come to Sunday school, don't have it on Sunday, don't call it school. And so we started having people's homes, and they had it in funeral parlors because they were bigger. Look at Bill Bright and what he did, and how he went after college campuses and the 4 spiritual laws and all that. So Hudson Taylor, China Inland Missions, getting people to go to China and grow their hair out like Chinese people and braid their hair, like to tell a 19th century white male to grow your hair into ponytails so you could fit in the culture was just mind-blowing for him. Salvation Army and what William Booth did, and getting people together and say, let's operate like an army. Let's give people like rank and file and uniforms so they can know that they're in the Lord's mission. And we're going to go kill some things in the name of God, kill poverty and all that sort of stuff. Now, those are crazy. So all those things, and I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. What's going on in America right now? Oh, another big church. Wow, I haven't seen that before. Oh, a worship video on YouTube. Oh, I haven't seen that before. Oh, LED screens. Oh, so inspiring. Oh, and hazers. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Multi-site church. Oh my goodness, that's gonna do it. Woo! No, I believe in those things. Crossroads does all those things. I'm not against those things, but those are sort of table stakes to just be in the game and in somebody's life. But it's not until you're talking about an only in class vision, because that's what a vision is. If it's not only in class, it's just your good idea. You know, vision is when it hasn't been seen before. Vision is when people aren't doing it before. If you're seeing it and you're improving it, it's called best practices. And I believe we should be doing best practice. I believe I should be learning from you, Rusty, and others, and best practice. I believe in all of that. But a true vision is when it's the only thing that's happening because God birthed it in your mind and your heart, and then you go after it. I think we've got to find more leaders in America. Where are the Jim Rayburns? Where are the Bill Brights? Where are the Hudson Taylors? Where are these people? Where are they? It seems like everybody's just singing off this same sheet of music, trying to get the same publishing deal and get more YouTube followers and more Facebook fans than the next person. And so camps for us is a thing we believe that God has birthed in us, and it's an only in class thing. No one's doing it. I hope more people should do it. Get people out in the woods, poop in the woods, hike in, sleep under the stars, have campfires, talk with people around a campfire, have soul stirring worship in a tent, and preaching isn't half bad. Have the kegs of beer right next to the prayer tent, which is very intense, like crazy prayer. Some people get really threatened by it, but it's out there. And at the beginning of the weekend, the lines outside the kegs of beer are really long. And then by the end of the weekend, the line for the prayer tent is really, really long. I think last year we went through, I don't know, it was 120 kegs of beer for 2,600 people or something like that. God bless America. It was wonderful. And then if you ask us to count up the number of physical healings that people came to Christ and baptisms, those are amazing numbers too. So yeah, that's the thing I'm most excited about right now, probably personally. And we bought more acreage for it, and it's man camp, women, couples, all that stuff. And so I go way into it, but there you go.
So you have this big plot of land. Now that you've purchased it, it's yours. And so what's that look like? You just set up kind of a big tent Is it just, and there's a place to eat, and then are there activities during the day? Are we killing what we eat? Field dressing a cat? What's happening out there?
Field dressing a cat. That's a great next level. I like that. Field dressing a cat.
Oh, it's from Santa Claus, the first one. So anyway,
that's really good. That's great. Well, we started just saying we need land. Anyone who can loan us land, great. So we borrowed land from a guy in Indiana for a couple weekends. We borrowed an old ATV park in Kentucky. We borrowed a farm down towards Lexington. And finally we said, okay, this thing works. And this is hard to set up town, just like we did, Rusty, with your church, our church, Remember Church. When you start it, you got to set up and tear down. And that's important. There's best practices of how to start a church. And it does mean you're going to, rent some place and figure out how the best way to set it up and tear down. And so after we did a good number of those, we said, you know what, this set up and tear down, we need a place that's custom designed for what we're doing. And that's when we bought land. So we found a piece of land that was I just told this story to somebody today. I probably should tell a story more. It was an Australian conference center. That was the vision for it. It was called Crosstralia. And you would come in and have an experience of Australia while you could have like your business meetings. And they had kangaroos on the place, and the kangaroos escaped. They have no idea where they are. Like some good old boy was in a deer stand waiting to get a deer, and a kangaroo company popped the kangaroo instead of his deer. They had monkeys. They had monkeys in this house, and they just gave free rein to this house to these monkeys. These monkeys just, destroyed this house. And this woman who owned it, who was a half bubble off, she would go in and read stories to the monkeys, who had, by the way, tuberculosis. And finally, one of them chewed her fingers off one day while she was reading the book, just attacked her. So we said, oh, you got what it was, 600 acres or something like that, 500, something. So we bought that and we said, okay, it's fine. We'll work with it. So we just gradually start cultivating, and people park their cars. They walk in on a gravel road we put in. They find a place to put a tent, and they hang out. And then they come to a setting in the big top tent. Everyone brings their own chairs. You come up to the big top tent. We have a session with worship and some teaching and some fun stuff. And it's just a lot of fun. And then people go back to their tents or back to their campsites, and they have some discussions. They talk around the campfire. They have some beers they want, have some bourbons that they want, have water, have milk, whatever they want. And that's up to you. Guys, when they get together camping, they normally have different things. So you want to do that? That's fine. We like to say at Man Camp, your vices are welcome. We just don't want them to be underground and become addictions. And some people who've on that journey, we celebrate them at those camps, right? So they do that, and then we get up in the morning, they have breakfast, they're making their own breakfast, coming to the tent again, having a good session of tent, giving people solitude time, giving them prompts, and we give them take your chair, go in the woods. Your Heavenly Father would love to meet with you. Have you ever spent an hour in silence in nature with him, with some prompts? Maybe you'll hear from God. So we do that. Then we have lunch. And then we have games after lunch, all kind of games you can participate in, watch in, whatever. It's a lot of fun. Games from relay races to arm wrestling to powerlifting, those huge concrete balls. If you want to do it, obviously I've never done that. And then then there's time of work. There's another session, basically I'm giving you the whole thing, but yeah, it's a wide range of things, just to do things you don't normally do, Rusty, and to feel things you don't normally feel, and to experience things you don't normally experience. And we found it to be pretty powerful.
Is it 2 days, 2 nights? How long does it last?
2 nights.
Okay.
2 nights. We used to do 1 night, but it's gonna be 2 days. Now I'm going to use an old school term here. We're actually in October 11th to 12th. I'm using a term that used to really bother me, but I've come to embrace it. We're going to have a revival, an actual revival. Come one, come all. I don't care what gender you are, what age you are, single, married. It's going to be 38 hours, something like that. Come and go as you want, stay the night, whatever it is. So we've done them with like 1 hour one night, but the man camp, couples camp, woman camp, they're 2-night things. Come in on a Friday, camp Friday night, Saturday night, leave Sunday.